Hi, I'm Mike Fiammetta, sports editor at the Badger Herald.
And I'm Elliot Hughes, sports content editor at the Badger Herald.
And we are here to talk some Badger football. Obviously, Saturday, Badgers, a 35-0 win over Pac-12 opponent Oregon State. Oregon State was coming off a Week 1 one-point loss to FCS school Sacramento State, which certainly was not the way they wanted to open the season. The Beavers came in to Camp Randall Elliot looking for a win with their backs against the wall, and that clearly did not happen. Offense put up 35 points, 397 yards. What stood out to you? What can we take away from this game?
Well, what stood out to me, Mike, was the passing game, specifically Nick Toon. Obviously, Russell Wilson's been playing well these past two games. He's living up to the hype. But Toon has shown an ability that he isn't reliant on a great quarterback. He's been the touchdown catch he had against Oregon State was a fantastic grab in the air, and against UNLV he had that wonderful grab despite pass interference play down the field. Also, Jacob Pedersen is playing phenomenally well. He's scored 3 touchdowns already for UW, and the big question coming into this year was who was Wilson going to throw the ball to. They got the quarterback landed into their hands, and who's he going to throw the ball to? He's found 2 reliable targets already in Toon and Pedersen. Mike, what did you think about the defense?
The defense obviously looked great. They pitched their first shutout of the year. In particular, to me, the secondary shined. 10 pass breakups for the game, which is an absolutely ridiculous total. Top 2 cornerbacks, Antonio Finellis and Devin Smith, are simply everywhere. You saw them early in the game, right on their receivers, jumping routes, knocking away passes. I was surprised they didn't come up with any picks the way they were flying to the ball. Devin Smith left the game, I think it was somewhere in the second quarter, with a left foot injury. Head coach Brett Bielema said X-rays are negative on Smith, but he was on crutches after the game, looked to be in pain, moving very slowly, so who knows how long he will be out. But in his place, Elliot, Marcus Cromartie stepped up and I thought had a fantastic game. And just talking about injuries, outside linebacker Kevin Claxton actually fractured his hand in the UNLV Week 1 game, which Brett Bielema didn't tell anybody until this game. Ethan Armstrong stepped in, and I thought the linebackers played great, especially Chris Borland was everywhere making plays. Mike Taylor. Defensive end Pat Muldoon dislocated his shoulder also in the middle of the game. So the Badgers got tested a little bit. Even, it sounds silly to say, the 35-0 shutout, but they faced a little adversity. The main thing for the defense, they tackled much better. After Week 1, they kind of admitted to not being totally prepared to everything UNLV had, their offenses, specifically their pistol offense. And then Bielema and the defensive players admitted they weren't happy with their tackling. They were absolutely elated. Aaron Henry after the game was absolutely elated with how well the defense played. Talked for nearly 20 minutes. And finally, obviously Oregon State didn't score at all. They made 1 red zone trip, and that was obviously not fruitful. So in total, the secondary stepped up. They survived some injuries, and this defense looks in mid-season form, and it's only Week 2.
I was very impressed by Cromartie as well. He's a guy who challenged Smith for the starting role over the summer as well. So he's been playing well for a while anyway. His tackling specifically impresses me. I didn't really see him have any hiccups in that regard. And of course, with Smith out, now a freshman's going to step up in diamond nickel packages, either Trinell Jean or Darius Hillary. Both looked strong over the summer. They're gonna be introduced to some real experience early on. But the secondary looks like it can absorb the blow for Smith no matter how long he's out.
Absolutely, Elliot. And now the Badgers head next weekend to Soldier Field with a much hyped game versus Northern Illinois. They have the storyline. Dave Doran, last year's defensive coordinator here in Madison, is now the Northern Illinois head coach. Obviously, it's at Soldier Field, home of the Chicago Bears. That will be an outstanding game. So be sure to check back later in the week. We will have another video preview for that game. But until then, I'm Mike Fiammetta.
And I'm Elliot Hughes.
Thanks for watching.